Hey guys, today we're gonna talk about being pregnant during a pandemic. So whether you're considering getting pregnant or you are pregnant and you're unsure if you wanna go for it, hopefully this video provides some information for you, either as educational, but hopefully a little bit of entertainment, and help you know that you're not alone in this, because it's a really bizarre time to be pregnant. This is my third pregnancy. I'm filming this currently at 34 weeks pregnant, and it is December of 2020. So our numbers across the nation for the pandemic are like the highest they've been, but there is hope. We have vaccines and they're about to be approved, so there is hope. Let me get started. I'm gonna try to make this video as quick as I can for all of you. Okay, all right. First things first, what's the difference between this pregnancy and my other two pregnancies not during a pandemic? To start, the appointments. There are not as many appointments in person. I had some appointments that were virtual. So in the beginning, I wasn't getting weighed a lot. I didn't actually go into the doctor, I think, until 10 weeks, maybe 8 weeks, because I'm 36 now. But you do have to wear a mask when you go to your appointments. Nick was not allowed to come with me in the beginning. They did change that, so I was able to have one person join me at some of my appointments in my second trimester. But once the numbers started to climb back up, that was rescinded, so I now have to go to all of my appointments alone. Luckily, Nick was able to go to the big 18-20 week scan, so that was good. But besides wearing a mask and being super anxious, there's not that much that's different so far medically. Okay, the next one I'm gonna talk about really quickly, so planning for delivery. So again, I'm filming this in December 2020. This is probably gonna change every single month moving forward. As of now, when I go, I will get tested for COVID. If I am negative, I've been told that I don't have to wear a mask likely during pushing. Again, that may change. Nick apparently will not be tested, but he will have to wear a mask throughout the delivery process. Once you're in your room, I have been told that you are expected to wear a mask when there is a nurse in your room, and personally, yes, I will happily do that. But a lot of people told me that when the nurses left, they would take them off. Apparently your stay is shortened these days at the hospital, and so we actually left a day early with Connor anyway, so I don't think this is gonna be anything out of the norm for us. Planning for delivery has been a little challenging. I have two kids. With both of my older two sons, I was induced. I was a week late, so we never had like, who's gonna come to watch them? It was like, okay, I'm going to the hospital tomorrow to be induced. You know, so people came like the night before, and it was all very planned and very seamless. This time, again, I don't think I'm gonna go early, but I have to plan for that. So my mom, after the new year, I believe is going to start quarantining, you know, for about 2 weeks before my due date. Again, I've never gone early. I've only gone late, and I've been induced. So in my head, I'm kind of anticipating I'm gonna get induced again. But we do have someone that's quarantining to come and stay with the boys at our house when I deliver, and hopefully stay for like a little bit to help us kind of transition. Someone asked if the boys were gonna continue going to school. Yes, I am gonna continue to send the boys to school. Everything has been safe since they went. I wanna try to keep as much normalcy as I can. When they do have to stay home, if there was like an exposure at school, it's just chaos. And I feel confident and strongly that our school is doing things right. We haven't had any scares. Nick is gonna be working from home. He's not gonna be going to the office. In regards to people coming to meet the baby, I'm really uncomfortable about it. This is one of the things that brings me anxiety. I think I'm going to request grandparents to quarantine for 10 days and wear a mask. The CDC changed the rules, so I firmly believe if somebody quarantines for 10 days and gets a test on day 8, that they should be okay. And so that's kind of what I'm going off of right now, but I will be having them wear masks, and we're not gonna have a parade of people coming in. Guys, you can all meet my baby this summer. Sorry. And my biggest fear is actually Nick getting COVID right before I have to deliver, or one of the kids. Someone in my direct family within a week of delivering gets COVID, and they have to quarantine or isolate from me, or Nick can't even come into the delivery room with me because he has it. That is my current biggest fear. I don't think I'm going to get it, fingers crossed, but my biggest fear is definitely someone else getting it and then having to come home with the baby after, and one of my sons having COVID and having them to not being able to help them. And you know, one of my dearest friends' kids got it recently through their nanny, and she ended up getting it while taking care of her son, and there's nothing you can do. What are you supposed to do? Her son was 1 year old. It's just all very stressful for me. Overall, personally, I have just heightened anxiety. Being pregnant, we're told that we're at higher risk of getting seriously ill if we get coronavirus. However, because of all the restrictions in place, this is the healthiest I've ever been during a pregnancy. I've maybe had a little bit of a sniffle, a couple, total of 4 days this entire pregnancy. With Connor, I was sick for an entire month with the worst cold of my life. I thought it was a sinus infection. I had an inhaler. Tommy, same thing. I got really bad colds. So I was nervous to get coronavirus because I know in the past a regular cold would feel 1,000 times worse when I was pregnant. I have been very lucky so far. I wouldn't say that we're shut-ins. I've been going to the grocery store, masked up of course. I've been to Target a few times. We do not eat indoors, but the kids are both in school. They're outside most of the time. But I would say on a scale of 1 to 10 in Boston, we're probably on the more moderate side. You know, Nick does go into the office on occasion, but as a whole of the country, we're definitely very precautious compared to what I see on social media. A lot of people asked about the vaccine. And so there is a vaccine there are 3 of them, I believe, that are gonna soon be passed by the FDA. And a few people asked me if I was going to take it. And let's be honest, I'm not even gonna have that option. This is December 2020. I'm not gonna have that option. Currently, pregnant women are not on the high priority list. I follow some people on Instagram who think that they should, but let's just be honest. I probably will not even have the opportunity to be offered a vaccine until this summer. So for me, I'm not thinking about it yet. Whether or not I get it when I'm nursing, I don't know. I'm not a medical expert. I follow Dr. Marta Perez and also King Gunner Baby on Instagram, and they're providing a lot of great information that is scientifically backed. And so I recommend to go check them out for some answers on these types of questions, because I should not be the authority here. If I am told that it is safe for me to take, I will take it. But right now, I'm not the priority. I want, you know, those who need it, our healthcare workers, to get it first. And then, you know, once it becomes available, then let's talk. So there's definitely more caution for my family. You know, I don't go to playgrounds with my kids anymore. Now that the numbers are up, we were going for a little bit, but Tommy got a cold from a playground, so we just never went back. Because of the virus, I didn't hire any babysitters or nannies or anything like that. When we lived in Boston before the pandemic, we had a part-time nanny. Once the pandemic hit, she didn't come for the month of April. She started coming again in May and a little bit in June, and then we kind of went to the Cape, and then we moved to the suburbs, and she wasn't able to come with us, and I just haven't hired anyone. And so that's been really challenging. I would have been more proactive to hire someone, but in our community, a lot of transmission is happening when you start mixing households, and having a nanny come in and out, or a babysitter, you're just adding to your risk. And I just said to Nick, you know what, I'm gonna take one for the team. I'm gonna just try to focus on this pregnancy, my health, and our kids, and I'm not gonna worry about, you know, getting to the next level of my career. This just isn't the time for me. I know other people are gonna view that differently, but a lot of women mostly have taken a backseat in their career during this pandemic to take over the added childcare. That being said, I also want to point out that this pregnancy has actually been easier than my second, because Nick is around a lot more. He is here in the mornings to help me get the kids out to go to school. He is home for dinner and bedtime. Before the pandemic, he was out the door very early and he was home very late, and now he's working mostly from home. And so this has been a blessing for me especially during my first trimester when I really didn't feel well. So there are some benefits to being pregnant during the pandemic. And it's of course, this wouldn't be the case if your partner is an essential worker, you know, and can't work from home. But for those of you watching this whose partners and yourself are working from home, it has been easier because I just have extra help with the toddlers. If this is your first pregnancy, of course this is different, but this is for those who have already had a kid, whatever. So another benefit, less need for maternity clothes. I'm not really going anywhere, so I don't need a ton of outfits to wear. And I think that it's kind of nice not having anything to do. When you're pregnant, you get really tired easily, and when you have older kids, you're shuttling from activity to activity, and it gets to be really exhausting. And we, this weekend, literally did nothing. And to be honest, I loved it. All right. So the questions on Instagram you guys asked. Okay, there are a lot of questions. So I'm gonna try to get, not that many, but there are still a lot.